Good evening. I'm Dr. Sachin Kulkarni here. I work at Sunanda IVF Kolhapur and Jahangir Fertility at Pune. I just want to narrate a small story to you, a success story. Way back in 2015, we introduced Oncofertility, meaning preservation of eggs and sperms for young women and men who are suffering from cancers and who would be taking chemotherapy. So prior to chemotherapy, they would be storing their eggs and sperms with us for future fertility use. Nowadays, most of the cancers have a perfect treatment and long-term survival of the cancer is very, very good. So this gentleman was referred to us from a leading onco center in Kolhapur, saying that he is suffering from a testicular tumor and he would be going for a chemotherapy. Obviously, with 4 to 6 cycles of consecutive chemotherapy, his testes will start functioning less and less, and eventually his sperm count will become 0. But the testicular tumors are highly chemosensitive and the recovery is very, very good, and they have a very good long-term survival. So then he was just 18-year-old, but subsequently, as he gets married, he will find that his semen count is completely 0 and will not be able to have a child. His parents were convinced and counseled by us in our oncofertility department, and they were convinced that storing the semen sample can help his future generation and he can bear children once he gets married. He stored about 3 semen samples before initiating chemotherapy. Subsequently, he took the chemotherapy, was recovered very well, and he got married just last year. Fully aware of his own condition, and his wife were completely aware about it, and he knew his sperm count would be 0. But just for the small ray of hope, he did his semen analysis, but sadly it was 0. He came back to us, and we decided to go ahead with a IVF cycle using his stored sample, which was stored way back in 2015. And his wife being young, she responded very well. We went ahead with an intracytoplasmic sperm injection cycle with a stored semen sample. We had a fantastic 2 blastocysts and both were transferred. And now his wife is pregnant with 20 weeks of pregnancy and should be delivering over the next 4 months' time. This success story could be for many. So if you come across somebody who is young and could be suffering from cancers and would be going for chemotherapy, do think of fertility preservation. I just want to add here that this part of the oncofertility we understand as doctors is extremely troublesome for somebody to spend extra money beyond their cancer treatments. Hence, at Sunanda IVF, we do oncofertility as a charity. This guy did not pay us anything way back in 2015, neither did he pay anything to us for storing his sample for last 8 years. He went through an IVF cycle, and this oncofertility charity is so satisfying. It was such a lovely thing to see the smile on this man's face that in spite of my sperm count being 0, because you stored the sample very well earlier, my wife is now pregnant. Obviously, one will ask, how good is your storage system? At Sunanda IVF, we have a complete cryo room with almost about 20 to 25 cryo cylinders. Each cylinder is monitored physically every day. Not only that, there is a boomerang software from an Australian company which is installed into this. So it is continuously giving a log of liquid nitrogen temperature and liquid nitrogen level of all the cylinders. And if any small deviation from the minimum is there, that is conveyed to us immediately on our SMS to me and to my embryologist. So a continuous log of and strict quality control of maintaining such cryo samples is very, very important and goes a long way to tell a success story. Fertility preservation is not only meant for cancer patients, but also women who are going to try for the pregnancies later because not having a right partner now, or they have their career choices as priority, or some gentlemen or women are suffering from autoimmune disorders like rheumatoid arthritis, ulcerative colitis, or for that matter, drug-resistant tuberculosis. And slowly their sperm counts and their egg counts go down because their body is completely in an inflammatory condition. All these patients should think of storing their eggs and sperms for a future use. I'm sure this will help you out. And remember, Oncofertility at Sunanda IVF is a charity. Thank you so much.